how do you define consistency, and what does it actually look like day to day?
Man, I'm glad you asked some great questions. Well, consistency, I would love for consistency to be that, hey, I'm making a 10K, 10K trade, 8K trade. I think obviously that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking forward to, is keep on pushing for it. But me personally, when I'm at trading consistently, for me, consistent looks like, am I able to each day of the week? I don't care about how much necessarily how much money you're making. Me personally, I want to know the trades that I'm taking, are they consistently good? Where's the frustration coming from? Is it the trade or is it psychology? And I think you guys separate this two, which is meaning, are you frustrated about the trading? Like, hey, how we talk about good trades. Are you taking good trades? Are you getting stopped out? Because then that's maybe it requires just a little more tweaking. Do not, do not throw the whole thing away. If you're winning some trades, just do some slight tweaks. I've been through that. You keep relearning new strategies. Calm down. Just retool. Hey, add some more salt to the gumbo, man. You're good. You're good. Just add a little piece. But then
put a little Tony Satchers up in that thing.
I think everybody said that. At least I have been told that maybe not too long ago. But you should absolutely document yourself. Don't record the videos. Record your trading session. If you don't want to post it, that's cool. But you should record it, because you would see some of the things, some errors that you're doing. Right? I was one of those people, like, I got good memory. I have a good memory, and I'm thinking, like, I hear you, but I don't really need that. It's like, I don't really need it. I don't need to journal my trades, something like that. And as you go through trading, you like, after 1 month and the second month and third month and the fifth month, you kind of see like, I don't remember that trade. So let me take a screenshot of the trade.
They told you trading was about strategy, indicators, entries, exits. But nobody told you what happens when your faith gets tested. In this episode, it's different. We sat down with KJ, founder of NTC, Novus Trading Community, a man who doesn't just trade charts, he trades with conviction. We talked about pressure, losses, discipline, and what it really means to trust God when the market isn't going your way. Because in this game, it's a war. And if the mindset isn't right, you've already lost. This is NoFOMO. Let's lock in.
Yo, what is happening, people? We are back with another episode of the NoFOMO Podcast, man. And today, we got the special guest, KJ, on the line. What is happening, KJ?
What's going on with you, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, staying 10 toes through it all, you feel me?
Man, I understand, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. We had set up. It's been a second. It's been a little second.
Yeah, man. I've been following progress with everything you got going and in your community. You know what I'm saying? And hey, you're somebody I resonate with, dog. And I said, man, as soon as I get everything back flowing, I gotta have you on, bro, so you can talk about your trading, bro. So
for sure. Now we're going back and forth and stuff like that.
Right.
Man, we should get some time together, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
Square business, big dog. So I wanted you to talk about how your trading journey began and what drew you into the market. Like, what drew you in initially?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Well, go back a couple years. Man, what happened was my friend, we talked about it in Discord as well. He hit me up. He's kind of new Forex for a long time. He'd been doing it. And I was at work and he sent me a text message. He's like, I can't remember, obviously I can't remember the text message, but just kind of, it was like, hey, like, I made this much money, all that good stuff. I kind of want to find interests like that. Cause me and him, we kick it. We back in high school friends like this. So we've known each other for a long time. And he kind of hit me up on that. And I kind of wanted to dive into more about it. And we got on some phone calls. So they kind of showed me things that he was watching, some things that he was doing in the markets like that. And we were trying to improve on it. So then after that, I mean, it just went from just wanting to have that, the idea of the freedom, idea of able to, make some income, away from work and stuff like that. So after that, it was just working, right? It just came to studying night after night after night. Cause now you just fascinated by it. You like, bro, can you really make, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you really do this for a living? Is it legit? That's the first thing you go to your mind. And after that, it's just like, okay, can people do this consistently? You see people that are doing consistently. And that's kind of the initial standpoint from it.
For real. So was it, and during those early days, like figuring things out taking losses, trying to stay motivated? Like, what was that like in those early days?
Man, it's a war.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nothing. Yeah, you cannot. Man, we've been through it all, sir. Been through. You got the the fake traders, right? The gurus, the was MLM thing, wherever it's. Yes,
IML.
saw. Yeah, there you go. I got into some of that. Before then, you get into some traders on YouTube that are not legit, right? They're not, or just in general, like people are not really having success, right? So you gotta kind of that's got to be a trial. So you really got to be, you really got to be solid on your foundation while you're doing it, because I mean, it's going to take, 5 months to even just get to the right people. And then after they get to the right people, then it takes a while to get a strategy. You know how it goes from different strategies from some people, the DLM, the market, indicators, to just looking at price action. There's so many different ways. So I would just say, man, just like that, it was a gauntlet, like just getting through all of it.
For real. So like, what inspired you to create NTC, the Novus Trading Community?
Man, that was just what happened was like, so trading, right? Trading was just a lonely game, which is other than my homeboy, like other than him, like we would just kind of, bounce off ideas like that. It was tough to like bounce ideas off of, because as I'm learning, I'm kind of like, hey, but you see this? Oh, like you see this? And then sometimes you see a word go, people got life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an idea to be like, all right, let me try to build or have a way to me build a community where A, I'm helping people, but B, I just want to bounce ideas off of people. Just like, I want to see, what do you think about the market? What do you think? What do I not know? Because I know I don't know everything, right? Because I'm just getting to the space. So what do I, or AI can help people, and that'd be the best thing, serving people, all the good stuff. But also on top of that, I also want to learn too, because I'm a student at the end of the day.
Real. So like, are you trading full time, or are you balancing it with work and other responsibilities?
No, that's a great question. So I'm balancing with work, and so I'm not doing it full time. I'm balancing with work and everything like that. So I do have the opportunity to trade most of the days, if not all the time. But I do balance with work and stuff like that. So that is how I'm balancing that.
So speak more about that, because like when you're working a regular schedule, working a day job, it's kind of hard to fit the trading in. So how do you structure that out? Like what sessions do you rock with? Like,
oh no, so at first it was I was doing London session. I was doing London session. So you're working in the morning, and then in the afternoon, you may be able to do the Asian session, which is that PM session. But then London session just kind of made more sense. So I was doing that for a while, and then I got my schedules to fix where I'm having to work a little bit more in the afternoons, but most of the times I'm able to trade the New York session. So it was just kind of had that switch. Now I wasn't always able to do that. So now I'm able to trade more of the New York session. But again, from the start of it, no, I was trading a little bit of the PM session, then the AM session, or excuse me, AM session for London session. So just kind of balancing it out to your point where it's like, if you can get your schedule changed, obviously you want to try to do that, but it's just more of idea of like how much do you want to do it, right? How much you want to do it, and you got to make changes to get that done.
And what time zone you in?
CST. So
okay, so you Central Standard Time.
Central.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So like, how would you describe your trading style today? Scalper, intraday, swing, or a mix of it all?
Man, I try again, right? You go through it, man. Try all of them, right?
Yeah,
Try all of them. Don't like swinging. All right, you're a swing trader, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Because I tried it, man. I didn't. It didn't fit my. It's crazy because I am a patient person. They say if you're a patient person, or you're gonna be more of a scalper, or swing trader. But if you're not a patient person, scalping thing. I'm a very patient person. I just did not like the fact that I'm trying to remember how I kind of told myself swing trading, where it's like I don't like the idea that I could wait all day, which I'm cool with it, but then the trade still cannot play out, which is okay, fine. If the trade's not going to play out, I'd rather me know immediately, right? Let me either get a chance to get back in the market or X, Y, and Z. So that's why I went to that scalper intraday. So right now, as of right now, I'm probably a scalper / intraday, because I do try to hold positions. And my frame again, because my scalper mindset, an hour or 2 hour is a long trade for me. Hour or 2 hours, but I am trying to get more of that, those, leaving runners. So that's what I would say. So I'm looking for scalpers, scalp moves, but I will leave a runner in. Will last for maybe 1 hour.
So
1 hour.
I'm patient, but I ain't that patient.
Right. Seriously, man. Y'all
Like,
different,
come
man.
on with it, man.
No, that's different. That's
Real.
different. Let me know I'm finna lose. Let me know. At least I can try to recover the loss. Or X, Y, and Z. I don't want to wait all day. Time is precious, right? So I don't want to wait all day to accumulate a different position where I can try to do scalping.
For real. So like what has been your toughest lessons? Like the ones that really shape who you are as a trader?
The toughest lessons. Trading, it's a whole you're talking about, trading and psychology, right? So you're talking about on the charts or off the chart?
On the charts.
On the charts. I would say trying to understand. Again, I'm an ICT trader. I sold what ICT trades basically believe in, it's algorithm and it's ways to, kind of look at I'm looking at stop losses different, right? I'm looking at liquidity. If I see a lot of equal highs, equal lows, I'm targeting it. Some people see that as support and resistance, and I'm literally trying to shoot through that resistance or shoot through that support. So looking at strategy wise, that was the biggest thing. And then looking at like that from an ICT standpoint, looking at pools of liquidity different. A little bit different than the I was taught at the beginning, which is, again, support and resistance. I'm looking at trying to bounce off a fair value gap. I'm looking at bounce off of a aura block, and I'm targeting that inside of a macro. So I think the biggest struggle would be having patience, because you got to, the way, again, ICT, the way that it's taught for me is where I'm looking at macros. I'm looking for certain windows to get into the market, and then again looking for the pool of liquidity, which is again not support resistance. So I'm attacking that.
So like describe one of your aha moments, like the moment in your trading journey there was a big moment that like clicked.
And it had to be looking at understanding again, it's ICT concept, understanding buy models and sell models. So it's a whole little, I don't want to say program, but it's a way of looking at stop losses are. So if I'm looking for us to go up, so if I'm looking for us to trade go up, I can initially look for, a reversal, right? So when it reverses, I'm thinking as soon as it reverses, I want to get the low, I want to put my stop loss below there, and I'm looking for it to shoot up. And I'm getting stopped out, X, Y, Z. And before the move goes, so the idea of this concept is waiting for the initial pullback and then waiting for another stop run in the internal run. So if one leg is going up, I want the leg to stay intact, but I'm giving it room for it to it's manipulation, stop hunt, liquidity hunt, all that good stuff, what you want to call it. I'm waiting for the market to give me that one more stop out, then getting for that initial move. And you probably noticed that I'm talking about, then getting in and having a stop loss under there, X, Y, Z. But that was the biggest thing, because I was getting stopped out when the move was correct, right? So that was I would say that was one of the biggest things.
For me, I call it impulsive price activity. Yeah. So once I see that, I know a move is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wait for it to slow down. You know what I'm saying? You see it start happening, you're like, all right, it's about to do something. You wait for it to slow down, then you make a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't trade. I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah.
You don't trade ICT, right? You don't.
Yeah,
trade.
I trade. ICT was the first concept that helped me to understand market structure. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then from there, I evolved to market profile, understanding market profile. Then a little bit of Dalton trading. He's one of the vet traders. Used to be a Wall Street trader, and then a system called Nadro is it helped me kind of put all the different stuff that I've accumulated over time and formulate it into a top down system. So I look at it in a formulated process. But
Gotcha. No, that's dope. That's dope.
How do you manage your emotions when it gets tough? Like after a long losing streak or a bad day?
Man, so the first was bad, right? It's just the first initial was not great. And then it's just so my biggest thing me personally, I either go to the gym, or I used to play basketball, so I play basketball. For me personally, I know everybody got their own different things. For me, it's therapeutic, man. I go to the gym, and I go to I love when no one's there. I got my headphones there, and I'm just putting up shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mentally, I gotta get away from the chart, because I'll go back in and do X, Y, Z. I didn't have too big of a idea of revenge trading. Everybody had different struggles. For me, revenge trading wasn't the biggest thing, but me just overthinking about the trade. And I would overthink it, or play in my head, it's like that. So that was my biggest thing. And I want to clear that out. So the best thing that I could do was go to the gym, and I got to go put up shots.
And so like, what kind of structure or routine do you follow to stay disciplined?
Oh man, that's a great question. So what I was doing wasn't working. So what I was doing is when you do something, you shouldn't be doing. Say you supposed to, you had 2 trades for the day and you took 3, and you want to put to that third one. I would just mentally journal that, right? I would journal that and be like, hey, I know I shouldn't do that. I know I shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. For me personally, that didn't necessarily hold me accountable. So what I took that to another level is, if I don't follow my rules, I then try to do something physically that I don't like. Now that will turn into like, I have to, quote unquote, mentally and physically have to feel that emotion, and physically feel that lack of discipline I had. So for a prime example, this happened to me maybe a couple of weeks ago, where I put my stop loss in an area where I know I shouldn't have took. I knew I had the verge of being stopped out, and I was stopped out. Trade was correct, but I knew that I should put my stop loss in a certain area. I gotta go run at 12 o'clock. I gotta go running for a jog. I don't want to run, but I gotta go run. Or I gotta take a cold shower or something. I have to do something to me physically and mentally to tell myself, hey, you cannot, you know what I'm saying? This is one of your rules. You broke it, and you gotta do something again. Me journaling it didn't stick with me. I remembered it, but I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? So to make me feel like, I had to give me some things that, some discipline areas that I could do, some physically that I can try to not do it again.
Man. So, man, I wanted to touch on your faith and your positivity, because you're a very positive individual. That's initially what had me following. You were speaking motivational and everything. So, you got real positive energy. How does your Christian value influence your approach in trading? Because I noticed you incorporate that in your video.
Oh man, again, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you noticing that. Appreciate you taking time to ask me that question, because it's literally the pillar of the Discord and of the what I wanted to continue to make, because that's what is the biggest thing for me. Again, for my life, for everything I've been doing in life and stuff like that, man, is as we live in today's world, right? This is, aside for trading, this goes into trading, but nothing's going to trading, where just everything's happening, right? Things happening, life is happening. I needed something that, a pillar, right? A rock, a foundation. And that's what, Jesus Christ, that's what he gives you, that foundation of believing in faith and having that will to overpower things that you shouldn't be overpowering, you shouldn't be able to accomplish. In my life, I had a lot of different things that I had to go through, and I was able to only go through those things because I had, I had to believe in something bigger than me, because at the time, everything told me it's over with, it shouldn't work, this shouldn't do X, Y, Z. So to that standpoint, I would love to build a Discord or build a community out of that. Cause that's how strong it's important to me, because in trading, you're going to see things that, first of all, the discipline of just staying with it, right? You got to believe in something higher than you got to believe in something this is actually going to work. And then on top of that, you got to believe in your self-will of becoming who you want to become before it even happens, right? You're going to take losses at the very beginning. You're not going to take, I took a lot of losses before I started actually being, okay, I can, start getting into prop accounts and all that good stuff. So you're going to have to go through a lot of stuff to get to the other side. And again, the test where the pillar starts for me is, do I have a good foundation of believing in God? Do I have a good foundation to believe in who I am? And then now let that kind of segue into his way to the chart. So then it's just part of me, just a thing that's very important to me, because it helped me so much in my life.
So, how does your faith help you stay grounded during market uncertainty or setbacks?
It reminds me that, again, this is just, at the end of the day, this is something you should be able to, it's just one of the skill sets that you can be able to learn. And also being able to understand that it's a higher, this isn't, trading isn't in all, it be all. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so you still got, you still got family, you still got things you can still look into, and friends, you still got things that you can, hold on to. So don't make trading the biggest thing. And again, moving away from that, just looking at a foundation standpoint of believing in a higher power, believing that, God exists. It helps me. It helps the confidence level being like, nothing's right. Nothing's too big that I can't overcome. It has nothing been put in front of me that I can't, overcome and understand and be able to, able to grasp. So it just gives me that idea or just remembrance of like, all right, this is another day. We're going to be okay. I'm going to do the best I can do. But on top of that, I know I'm able to overcome what I'm trying to overcome, which is, being successful, being all that good stuff. And again, coming from that foundation standpoint of like, I know nothing, anything in front of me, I know I can handle it.
Mm. So like, do you have any spiritual or mental routines before you trade? Prayer, reflection, gratitude, etc.?
Oh, that was a great question. So I do prayer. I'll pray or I will read, scripture in the morning. I want to stay disciplined on that too, but I definitely do that. And then after that, just after trading, again, this is not more of a spiritual, more of a physical thing. I will jog or I'll go walk or just, touch some grass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Touch
Yeah.
some grass and like that. But from a spiritual standpoint, I try to read in the morning. I know what you mean by reflect. I do a little bit of reflecting, but if I say the majority of times, I'll just try to read maybe a chapters or just kind of get my mind, wake up and read a chapter.
And what's the scripture or principle that guides you both in trading and in life?
Oh man, it's armor of God. Easy, armor of God. So with armor again, we got to dive into it too much, but armor of God basically is the necessities of things that you're supposed to do when you wake up, or it just overcome a day. You got the belt of truth. The Bible is your sword. You got the armor plate to give you, it gives you, it's basically detailing the armor that you're supposed to be having when you're waking up and the armor that you would take, again, not just from a spiritual standpoint, but in trading, right? You're going to have to, when you go and trade, you got to put the armor on, right? You come in and trade, you might take a loss, you might take a W, but at the end of the day, you still got to be a soldier in a way. You can't take one loss and crash out. You know what I'm saying? That's not consistently, so you got to put the armor on. So, hey, you might be able to, it's going to be a day it's consolidating, right? This is where you got, you're going to be on the charts just a little bit longer than you want to. So it's just little different things like that. Like I said, I would resonate the armor of God. If you know what I'm talking about, yeah, that's be it. Absolutely.
And how do you balance faith and ambition, staying driven without letting greed or fear take over?
Man, that's a big one. So I like this question. So that was the biggest things, man. That was the biggest things. I'm still, obviously I'm not perfect. The greed, everybody got different things, right? Greed, not really. Me personally, I didn't really focus on greed. Now the idea of fear, it resonate is because I know in my mind where I think I can take this or where I think I can't take this. It's the fear of, am I pushing myself hard enough or am I pushing myself fast enough? And then like trying to understand, like, of course of you want it to happen. I think my fear is, do you want it? How fast do you want it? As in, I feel like I want it to this point, and I want it to match the time in real life, right? But obviously, God has other things you want to do, things to pursue, and so I try and make sure I line it up with God's timing. That's been the biggest thing that I had to kind of personally go through. I'm still going through and being like, I want to push myself as hard as I can. I control the controllables. That's what that's the biggest thing that I'm taking away from to answer your question. Is control the controllables, right? How many videos are you doing? How many times are you taking trades? Are you doing things that you're supposed to be doing consistently? Now, after that, it's kind of letting it play out where just like, consistently letting the numbers do the numbers or are you putting
Letting
the
the chips
value
land where they may. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you want, in real time, you want to control that, you want to control that part of it. Right. But that's not what you're here for. Right. You're here to give value, to do everything you're supposed to be doing. And then, serve other people. And then after that, give it, give it to God and let that foundation kind of work on itself. But control, but are you doing what you're supposed to do and letting God work with something you're doing? You get discouraged at times where it's like, you want your channel to give example, you want your channel to blow up. But if I look at your, your videos, your content, you did one video in 2 months. It's like, you really got to have these conversations with yourself. Like, am I really putting myself in the best situation though?
Right.
And then after that, you just got to be consistent. Just try to be consistent.
So like that brings me to discussing about the NTC community. Tell us about NTC community and what kind of traders make up your community.
Man, I think it's again, it's kind of been just a chill vibe. Just been chill, meeting people like you, and I've met some other people, ICT traders. While I would like for it to still, obviously bring it up and continue to grow, I would like for it to be just, again, what trades can just learn more about trading. I love if you know ICT, That's kind of the way that I teach, the way I kind of look at the market. But I am not. I think the idea of like having other traders that I've done supply and demand. I've done support and resistance. If it works for you, it works for you. That's not what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? I just resonate more with ICT and understand this concept. So I'm always a student. Like I want to see people. Hey, if you don't trade ICT, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see more students see more people, right? See more community of people like, hey, I trade this way, I trade this way, I trade this way. Hey, you see this way's working, I want to see this. It's because I've taken little things from supply and demand. I took in little, you know what I mean? I taken little strategies from little different things, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't, I just closed the door. If you don't trade ICT, I'm not listening to you. Absolutely. Me personally, absolutely not. I want, you know what I mean? Like I some people think ICT is the Bible. And I'm not saying he, in my opinion, he is pretty solid information, but I just refuse to believe that, it's other people.
That's
it's not
the only way
to make money. Oh no, it's not the only way, man. It's not the only way. I've taken supply and demand ideas and I'm like, okay, this lines up with the way ICT teaching it, right? So it's just little things like that, man. I don't think anyway,
and it's good, man. It's good because it's a lot of guys that get into the ICT world and they develop a bit of a cult like type of mindset about it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the only way. The ICT is the only way. But I always look at it as there is no right or wrong way to trade. You know what I mean? It's so many different ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? If I say what's 2 + 3 and you say what's 3 + 2, you still gonna come out with the same answer. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you get there. I love that example because that's exactly what it is, man. I love how you said cult, man. That's how sometimes being in the ICT community, I've seen some people be chill about it. I've seen people be like, if you do this, I'm like, yeah, look, man, if they make it, like, you know what I mean? If you have a good risk reward and a good discipline and you consistently waking up and looking for, supply and demand or whatever the case may be, I mean, what's wrong? What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. I know what you mean. That's funny. That's funny.
Real. Cause man, ICT was the first thing I connected with it, and I just took it and grew on top of that.
That's interesting. I'm not trying to cut you off, man. So that's interesting because it's different. I love you. You can speak on that just a little bit more. I went from that. The first IML, then supply and demand, then looking at some indicators. Then I found ICT, right? So you, at the beginning of your trading career, you started ICT.
No, it was similar to how you did. I started with IML. Yeah, IML, trying to figure out indicators, this and that. Like I was fooling with IML for almost a year. And then I was like, man, this ain't working. This the blind leading the blind. And then at some point in between me walking away from that and trying to figure it out on my own, I ended up meeting my mentor, and he started feeding me information that really started resonating with me. So yeah, and just took it and grew from there, bro. Because that's what it's all about. It's just creating your own gumbo mix of how you like to do it.
Gumbo mix. No, I'm using it. Yes, sir. On gumbo mix. That's what it is too. That is what it is.
Because you have all these different ideas in the pot. You know what I'm saying? And once you mix that gumbo together, you really can't separate it. You just got to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
I promise you, man. Because it's crazy you say that because I look at my entries or I look at something like that and I'm like, you as you think of it, you not think of it, but I'm like, where did I get that from? And I'm like, this is not this specific thing that I'm doing. It's not ICT. This is just me waiting for X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I got that from, you know what I'm saying? Supply and demand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get everything. Again, I would say 90%, 8% ICT, but just some things like I learned this from this cat. I learned this from this guy. And it resonated with me. I stuck with it. So it's different things. Gumbo. I'm using that.
Yeah, because I use order flow. I use the DOM, and ICT don't fool with the DOM. I think he started fooling with it now because he switched to futures. But when I first started learning ICT stuff, he didn't have nothing to do with the DOM. So
yeah, I know. He might be. I don't think I haven't saw a video using the DOM, but to your point is he will. And for prime example is he think the DOM is obsolete. It's kind of to your point was like me personally, I don't use a DOM, which I think I can see everything in price action. But If you use a Dom and it's working for you, I'm like, why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bash that person for using it. If it's working for them, like, hey, kudos to you. Keep using that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it.
So like what type of value content are you most passionate about sharing inside of the NCT group?
I think just taking to another level where it's like, again, looking at listening to the trading community and listen to ICT and stuff like that. I found different ways that I resonate, that my brain, works, where it understands the market from a standpoint of looking for stop runs, macros, jumping down from a 5-minute, 15-minute to a 5-minute, going down to even a 30-second, and I'm looking for a 30-second entry. Now I'm also inside the 30-second entry. I am trying to look for a scalper move. Now I'm also looking for even runners. And that's what I recently been working on in the channel. And I'm trying to want to showcase what that is and how to do that. So that's the next level I want to take, that show its own little community where I am able to teach people that, hey, if you don't know nothing about trading, come to Discord, because you miss all these, as you IML, miss all that, could you get off ICT and learn that concept of market structure. Then if you want to jump on the supply and demand, X, Y, Z, that do what you got to do. But I think to your point, which we all agree is, understanding the foundation of a market structure. And then after that, then if you want, supply and demand, ICT, bring the Dom in, obviously do what you want to do. But I think understanding the market structure and how you want it, and then taking that idea and then do what you want to do with this, where I kind of want to be able to showcase. And again, from my standpoint, I will be looking at the 30-second scalping and macros and stuff like that. But I want to be able to teach people something that me and you actually, like in this case, there's so many people, but our stories having to trade, go through IML, go through people that, not legit or X, Y, Z. So I want to be able to sidestep all that, show you how to do this, X, Y, Z, and then make your own gumbo, right? Make your own thing that you want to do in that trading. So that's why I kind of want to take it to.
Yeah. And man, if you using 30-second entries, you need to use Dom, bro. You need to try the Dom, because
you asked it about maybe some time ago, man. I haven't dove into it. But I get, what I'm saying, I might sniff that. But do you go down to 30-second, or
the Dom is pretty much as zoomed in as you can get. You know what I mean? And you seeing the price action at every single price level. You seeing every transaction at every single price level. You know what I'm saying? So you're essentially seeing the candle print before it even prints on the chart. You know what I'm saying? So you seeing all that volume. When you see an influx of volume, influx of buyers, influx of sellers come in, you see it in real time happening right there in front of your face. And this candle about to explode. Cause you know what I'm saying? You'll see absorption where you might have 200-300 orders come in all at the same time and price barely even move. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of stay there. And you're like, what the hell is going on? So you learn to incorporate things like that into what you're watching, and you get an idea of what's about to happen next even further. But like people that essentially use the Dom love to scalp, because you can spot these short-term moves real quick on the Dom. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I can't go. I'm not, I'm one of those people. I'm not finna hate it. I'm not finna love it. I have not done any information of it that we just told me. So I'm hands up in there. Hands up in there. I hear you though.
So like, let's talk about your content creation and education. You're stepping into content creation. What made you start sharing your journey publicly?
Just getting one of the biggest things we kind of talked about earlier, where it's just like, I want to be able to showcase, not only just a skill set, but just helping people, get away from what we went through. Like I said, IML, all that good stuff. People are not legit. Like I said, want to go through all that, bypass all that, and show you, hey, if you want to become profitable, you want to take this. I know people. This is how you feed people families, right? This is people change, like this is life changing skill set. So I want to be able to, obviously improve that, but also just an idea of like bringing a community, like, hey, I want some, chill people, and also learn about the skill set that can help us, take it to another level that a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to do otherwise if it wasn't for trading. And then on top of that, within cementing that is kind of like showing the psychology part of it, foundation of Christ and stuff like that, because I do believe that that's part of trading, right? What does they say? 90% of psychology, 10%, trade. as you trade more, you understand how legit that is. Once you learn strategy, you got your own gumbo. Now it's like you got to fight all these things in your mind of just over trading or, you know, all these different discipline acts and stuff like that. It's more psychology than anything. And then my pillar would be the foundation of having, you know, believing in somebody bigger than you, right? Believing in something this is bigger than you. And the reason you're doing this has nothing necessarily to do with you, but things that you can do this with. And that helps me try, you know, keep a positive mindset, you know, throughout the, you know, the weeks and stuff like that.
So like, what's something that, wait. How has the process changed you or made you more accountable as a trader? Documenting your whole run.
Man, it's been, I see if you don't, I recommend, if you don't even put it out publicly, I recommend you should document yourself. I think everybody said that. I believe I have been told that maybe not too long ago, but you should absolutely document yourself. Don't record the videos, record your trading session. If you don't want to post it, that's cool. But you should record it because you would see some of the things, some errors to you doing, right? You know, I was one of those people, like, I got good memory. I have, you know, I have a good memory, and I'm thinking like, I hear you, but I don't really need that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need it. I don't need to journal my trades, something like that. And, you know, as you go through trading, you like, you know, after 1 month and the second month and third month and the fifth month, you kind of see like, I don't remember that trade. So let me, you know, let me take a screenshot of the trade. And I think screenshots, in my opinion, take screenshots. And I did that before, but really what's helping is, you know, recording yourself, right? Watching that kind of print, watching what you're doing in real time. And it's crazy that it took me forever to realize this, because I play basketball. This is exactly what you do in basketball, right?
Right.
I'm not taking screenshots of me making threes. I would have someone record me how I'm shooting, what's my form, what's my base looking like. The exact same process, right?
Exactly.
Where you're trading, what are you looking at, what are you talking yourself into, what are you looking at real time, how are you moving your stop loss, why are you moving your stop loss? Screenshot ain't gonna show you all that. You will be able to see that in recording, and that's the way it helped me to tighten up on things that I was doing wrong. That I was like, we talked about the stop loss. That was my biggest. So I keep on talking about stop loss because that's the biggest thing that for me personally was I was trying to, especially when you're scalping, right? I would put my stop loss where it's drawdown, right? But it didn't invalidate the trade. Only thing that the stop loss was doing was I was able to, let's say I'm just giving an example. Say I was risking $200. I'm like, well, if I move it up a little bit, now I'm risking 140. But I just, percentage wise, I just open myself up like, bro, you gonna get tagged. Like, you just open yourself up to 80% of a chance you can tag. If you just kept it right below, kept it in that 200 mark, right below that swing low, you're able to, you know what I'm saying? The trade's still valid if it swings below here. Now the trade's not valid if it hits this, you know, the $200, you know, XYZ, and you gotta be okay with that risk. So it does come a little bit of risk management in my idea, but it definitely just understand the market, what shouldn't be and what should not be. And again, the biggest thing was looking at videos.
So do you feel pressure to perform as a trader because people are watching when you're making these videos?
Sometimes, a little bit, you know, some people talk about that legit. Legit, a little bit. I try to balance out because I do show, you know, I have some, you know, I have losses, I have wins. So I try to balance that with, like, you know, trying to be, you know, transparent at that point. Because I do, you know, I take losses, right? You know, everybody take losses. But the biggest thing I think the biggest thing is trying to remind myself again, like, come back to that foundation piece, right? It's like, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm just, you know, learning as much as I can, possibly as I can. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I either make mental errors or I make this mistake, and just being okay with it, right? Just being okay with letting that showcase and being okay with, like, this is where we at in the trading. This is where I'm improving. And doing that has definitely helped because I think it's happened last week or 2 weeks ago where it's like I want to leave a runner, but I jammed my stop loss up to the point where it break even. So I was right by the trade, but I put it at a break even way too quick. This week going forward, I told myself, if I see this opportunity, I'm going to live it, give it some breathing room, and able to take some partial off. And I was able to do that this week, or, you know, I think it was right last week or this week. But the point being said is I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't recording myself and having that just transparency of it being like, hey, you don't have to be right every single time. Like, it's the probability of you being right every time. It's not even possible. The only thing you can control is, am I putting my stop loss in the right place? Am I going with my bias? Am I looking for draw liquidity? After that, take a shot and live with the result.
And let's go into lessons and advice for new traders, because I know making content, you run into a lot of new traders. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a lot of new traders that'll run across this podcast, you know what I'm saying, and check it out. So like, what's one mistake that you see new traders make over and over again?
Man, just understand that it's gonna take a long time. Some people, it happens 6 months. Some people it happens 1 month, year, and stuff like that. It just takes a while, especially if you're working. I think I feel like people, I feel like it takes 6 months to a year, obviously, to learn the skill set, and that's with you not working, right? So if you are working, I just feel like there's less time that you can be on the charts, rightfully so. So this is going to take a little bit longer for you to learn. You usually, it's different. You know, everybody got different things, but usually it's going to take you even longer to learn that. So I mean, unless you jog it out, you know, study. You don't have to have it all together in 8 months. Just me personally, you don't have to have it all together. I think there's a lot of people who will rush and want it all together. I wanted it too, but it just took a lot more studying, a lot of things that I didn't know I had to work on psychology wise and trading wise. So give it some time. Give it some time. I know you don't want to. I know, I know. You know what I mean by that. You don't want to, but you gotta give it some time. Give yourself a breather. Understand the skill set.
So what's something you wish you understood about trading early in your journey?
Market structure. Market structure. Market structure. I thought about, because you can, at the end of the day, you can have all different strategies. We got into market structure. Yeah, that took me a while to really understand. Again, because we started with IML. You know, if you just straight off ICT, that's great. You know, so you already have a lot of people. If you just started with ICT, because if you understand market structure, then you can make your own gumbo. But that foundation of understanding why liquidity is being taken, or impulsive at price action. If you understand why that's happening, that's the biggest thing, right? You can call it what you want. It's order blocks, order flow, whatever. It don't even matter. If you understand why it's happening to your bias. So I would say market structure, and then that definitely helps in the buy. I would say a market structure / bias. But I feel like they go hand in hand, because if you understand market structure, you then have a good idea of understanding bias. Because if you don't know if you're going up or down for the day, you really, you shouldn't be trading, right? You shouldn't be trading, because that's the biggest fundamental. Or stay on demo trade, right? Get you some reps. But once you start understanding that, it's be the biggest thing.
So like everyone defines consistency different. How do you define consistency, and what does it actually look like day to day?
Man, I'm glad you asked some great questions. Well, consistency, I would love for consistency to be that, hey, I'm making a 10K, 10K trade, 8K trade. I think obviously that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking forward to, is keep on pushing for it. But me personally, when I'm at trading consistently, for me, consistent looks like, am I able to each day of the week? I don't care about how much, necessarily how much money you're making. Me personally, I want to know the trades that I'm taking, are they consistently good? Are they consistently profitable trades? Whether you make $5 or you make 5,000, it's the principle there. Because I'm thinking about, and the way I had to talk myself to this is, I study ICT, and if you study ICT, going back all the information, he never, again, going back to mentor traineeship to 2022 and 2023, he rarely took a trade. He showcased a trade. What he would do is go back to price action, and then he would say, this is where I should be getting in, X, Y, Z. This is what I'm teaching you market structure and stuff like that. But when you think about it, for a majority of his videos, he was not showing you like live trading, getting in, getting out. He was showing you, this is what I was looking for at this time, and this is why I got in, X, Y, Z. So my brain's thinking, and now it's like, I just want to be able to consistently take good trades. And I know at the end of the day, where I'm able to take consistent good trades, I can put on 5 contracts. I can put on 10 contracts. I can put on 1 contract. So the money amount, again, I want to get to the point where it does matter. But at my stage in my career, is like, I want to be able to consistently be able to take good trades. And that's what I'm able to do right now. And then I'm working on then the second part is adding more contracts, get more funded accounts. You know what I mean? Like all that good stuff. But I think the foundation has got to be, are you taking, in my opinion, is taking good trades. I don't care about the money amount. Are you taking good trades?
So like, what advice would you give someone who's in a frustrating, almost there stage of their trading?
You said they frustrated?
Yeah.
Man, I've been frustrated. You've been frustrated a lot.
Yeah.
You've been frustrated a lot.
It
depends on the reason. It depends on the reason.
when you in that almost crossing that line, like you feel like you know it, but you just almost there.
Man, I remember that too well. Man,
Mhm.
I think because it's you. My brain thinks so. As you ask the question, you have to. That's why I kind of asked you that. I was like, I guess let me explain that.
Mhm.
Where's the frustration coming from? Is it the trade or is it psychology? And I think you guys separate this two, which is meaning, are you frustrated about the trading? Like, hey, how we talk about good trades. Are you taking good trades? Are you getting stopped out? Because then that's maybe it requires just a little more tweaking. Do not, do not throw the whole thing away. If you winning some trades, just do some slight tweaks. I've been through that. You keep relearning new strategies. Calm down. Just retool. Hey, add some more salt to the gumbo, man. You're good. You're good. Just add a little piece. But then
put a little Tony Satchers up in that thing.
Yo, man. So add a little something to that. Don't throw the whole bowl away, man. I've done it too many times. Don't throw the whole bowl away. Give it some time. So that'll be the trading standpoint. But then if it's a frustration of a psychology standpoint, gotta reflect on why. Is it the money amount? Is it is it some things you're going through personal life, right? I think a lot of people don't, that last part, a lot of people, we as traders, so they don't get highlighted. And I would love to talk that more about the Discord and stuff like that. To the psychology piece where people don't talk about that enough, where it's like, man, what you going through mentally in real life, forget trading real quick. Are you frustrated something about your personal life and things going on, family and stuff like that? Man, that absolutely will affect yourself on the chart. Yeah, you can be taking the best trades ever. You still mess them up. You absolutely still mess them up because you think about something X, Y, and Z, man. So again, we don't got time to talk about it, but that would be that'll be the pillar right there to make sure psychology, you good off the charts, saying life and stuff like that. But that'll be the biggest one.
So like, how do you see your trading evolving over the next few years?
Man, that I just want to be able to. So right now I'm doing, I feel like a fairly good job of taking consistent good trades. So now I'm ready for the increase of just being able to trade more funding accounts, maybe trade more, I'm probably leaning more on the funding accounts. I don't know, but I like my, live account, I might put some more in there, but that I'm kind of, as you can see on real time, I'm kind of toying with that, but more of just increasing the capital over time, because now I feel like I am getting to a point where I can increase the capital because I do believe in my trading and trading skills, be able to, obviously take those type of trades. But that was the biggest thing, that you don't want to do too fast, right? You want those money amounts. I want the 3K 8-day 10K days consistently, right? But if you move too fast, you're gonna be hurting yourself in the overrun. So that's why I was like, go back to taking those good trades. Once you do that consistently, then just tack on more capital, and it's the exact same trades, right? So
yeah. So like before we go, I wanted to go into some quick fire sniper questions. These questions here, you just answer with the first thought that comes to mind, right off the top of your head. Favorite trading session: London, New York, or Asia?
God, I know that was supposed to be fast. I know it was supposed to be New York. Sure, New York.
Favorite setup or chart pattern?
Oh, AMD.
Coffee or energy drinks before trading?
Not energy drink. I'm not a coffee person either. Coffee.
Okay.
I'm not either, really.
And one trading quote or Bible verse that keeps you motivated.
Oh man, I got it right. What's the bad word here? What is it? Pray. Philippians 4:6 right here. Worry about nothing. Pray about everything and worry about nothing. It's a wristband, so it's just like that's the biggest thing. Like, right, just try to keep every day, keep it flowing. Like I said, to try your best not worry about it and move it on.
And a dream collab or guest that you'd like to trade or just talk with one day.
Man, it's a trader.
Yeah. Could be
okay. No,
dream
it
guest,
has to be a trader.
Dream collab. Don't have to be a trader.
I'll say Doyle, man. I don't know if you know Doyle. I'll say Doyle Exchange, man. Doyle Exchange, man. He was the first. He was the first. He was the first. Like I just keep legit. I'll keep it a buck. He was the first black person I saw that really that was doing. Like I saw trading, me personally, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's
like,
interesting,
we
right?
in here.
Yeah, we doing it. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was gave me. So I took some of his concepts. That's why I got the supply and demand. I was supplying demand heavy, And then, like I said, within supply and demand, see, there's a lot of people don't talk about. My fault. It's some people don't talk about. Like, you gotta understand the whole journey. You gotta enjoy the whole journey, right? I start with supply and demand, but if I never start with supply and demand, gave up on supply and demand, I will never in that Discord. So this is what happened. So in supply and demand, I'm in Dory's Discord. Someone in Dory's Discord was trading ICT. So then he was trading ICT. So then when he was trading ICT, that helped me. I was like, bro, what you doing? He said, man, I just started trading ICT. That's what got me on. Initially, my homeboy got me into trading, but what got me on specifically to ICT was someone in Dory's exchange Discord traded ICT, told me about ICT, and then that's when I went to go talk. Went to follow ICT. But people don't understand the whole journey, right? You might be going to this one thing, to this next thing, and you got to understand. You just play the whole thing out.
It's all about networking and getting other people's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you always run into somebody that know a little bit more than you do. You know, and you can tighten up your strategy. For real.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Man, KJ, this was a great conversation, dog. I'm glad you came on, bro, because I just wanted to chop it up with you, man. Get your perspective on everything, man. And hey, I love what you're doing, dog. For real. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in to the NoFOMO Podcast, where we discuss keeping it cool and adapting to today's ever-changing markets. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our future drops. We've got plenty more insight coming your way. Until next time, stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, the best mindset to keep is no FOMO. All right? Y'all be cool, and we'll catch you on the next one.